today to talk to you about how to overcome your fear or fears of uncertainty. I decided to pick this topic today because I think the fear of uncertainty underlies most of our procrastination. Our fears that we don't exactly know how things are going to turn out, how we're going to be perceived, how the world is going to come down on our actions and give us what we desire. That feeling like we don't know what's actually going to happen in the future gives us an excuse to stay seated on our butts, not moving, not writing, not producing the products that we want to give to the world, and procrastinating. So today I thought I would address head on that fear of uncertainty and to give you some tips for how to feel a little more courageous, how to feel like you can try things, because I feel like that feeling that you can go for it is most of the battle around procrastination and overcoming it, that we need to feel like we have that spirit of action inside of us in order for us to start taking actual action. So the first tip I have for you is inspired by the documentary I just saw, which is called Free Solo. And Free Solo is the story of an incredible young man named Alex Honnold, who decided after free climbing all these other cliffs, that he was going to free climb El Capitan in Yosemite National Park. And it's just an amazing sight to see, just his discipline, his courage, his drive to accomplish his goal. And it inspired this particular live today that, yes, there was so much uncertainty actually in this mission of his to climb this big rock, but what he did was he eliminated one by one all of those feelings that there was too much chance in the equation. And what he did was he showed up every day. He memorized the rock. He memorized and choreographed his journey. And you could see, and he says in the movie that in order to reach your goals, you need to face your fears head on. So I'm just borrowing his wisdom today and sharing with you the first tip, which is you have to show up, you have to face your fears in order for you to be able to cope with this sense that everything is uncertain, because there is a lot of uncertainty in the world. And in order for us to feel like we have some power to shape our lives, we need to show up, we need to do the daily work, we need to face our fears head on. I hope that resonates with you, and I hope that gives you a little bit of courage today to take on something that you've been avoiding. Maybe it's your taxes, it's tax time. I know I just completed mine a couple nights ago and I felt so relieved afterwards. That's not a matter of uncertainty, that's just a matter of facing the work. Sometimes you just have to show up in order to feel better, okay? So the first tip is face your fears. The second tip is when you feel like you don't really know how the world's going to come down in reality, how things are going to turn out, you want to detach from the outcome. So instead of thinking, oh, I won't be able to live if I don't get this job, or if I don't get that girl, or if I don't get an A, I want you to decide that it's not about the outcome. It's about the fact that you need to show up for this practice. You need to show up with the daily work. You need to go to class. You need to set up those meetings. You need to go to those appointments. Whatever it is for you, you need to get your mind off what your life is going to be like when the outcome happens. If you're going to stick with thinking about the outcome, I want you to think about it positively, that whatever happens, I will benefit from going through this process. I can't lose because I'm in action and because I'm striving for my goals. I can't guarantee that my goals are going to take shape, but I'm certainly going to try. So again, that second tip is feeling like you don't have to be obsessed about what the outcome is going to look like, because if you're afraid that it's not going to go well for you, there's no motivation for you to get into action. So detach from that outcome, start getting into action. The third tip is, in general, in life, because things are so uncertain in life, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what our lives are going to look like 5 years from now. Really, none of us do. That I would encourage you to take an experimentalist's attitude about life. That everything is kind of playground for you to try new things, to try new personas out, to learn from books, to learn from mentors, to do risky things sometimes, because sometimes risky things pay off really well and show us what we're made out of, like climbing big rocks, perhaps. Just I encourage you to show up. That's the first tip. To detach from the outcomes of what you're doing so that you have the freedom to move. And tip number 3 is to just experiment. It is okay to fail. It is okay to learn from mistakes. It is okay. Hi, Tanya. Thanks for that lovely comment. It is okay to not know and still be moving towards your goal. Most of us are doing that anyway. And what you see when people are celebrating their wins, you're not seeing their daily effort, that daily grind, that daily showing up. And we just think, oh, it's not in the cards for us. But really, we're that rock climber. We're that person who, if we did the daily work, if we showed up regularly, if we stayed with our eyes trained towards that goal, we could do that stuff too. I'm not going to be climbing any big rocks, but I do want to share this inspiration with you. I have other goals of my own, and my goal is to help procrastinators get off their butts, get out of that fear state, and go towards your goals. Experiment, enjoy your life, because everything is changing all at once, all together, forever. So just get in that flow of accepting change, of accepting what you have, what you don't have, and then move forward. Okay. Hope you enjoyed this live, and thank you, Tanya, for joining me this morning. I am Christine Lee, Dr. Christine Lee, procrastination coach. I'm on here every Tuesday on Facebook at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I look forward to seeing you next week. Okay, bye.